Get the hell out of here, loser.
Hey, and welcome to Martial Art Basics. As a fan of the Karate Kid and the Cobra Kai series, I thought it would be fun to cover the technical concepts covered, and later I will talk about how you can use this knowledge to help you improve your martial arts. And we will also revisit the fight scene we just watched with Johnny and the bullies and see if we can recognize the concepts we've covered in the video. Please note that a lot of these concepts are closely linked and often overlap. So this is focused purely on the technical aspects as opposed to the physical and mental elements. So let's begin. Number 1. Whole body.
Secret to punch. Make a power whole body. Fit inside 1 inch. Here.
So to make an effective punch, to put your body weight behind it, you need to engage the whole body. They need to work together and all align. For example, with a punch, you are not just extending the punching arm, you are also pushing your shoulder forward, as well as pulling the opposite arm and shoulder back. Not only this, you are also having to drive with the hips, pivoting your foot, and driving with the legs. You need to understand what parts of the body you're utilizing and how they work together in unison. Have you ever experienced an injury and you then find that things you do every day has become doubly difficult? You've become aware of how that injury affects the rest of the body. You need to understand how the different body parts support each other. For example, if you were sitting down or had a knee injury, you'll notice how much it affects your punches.
Punch! Driver punch! Not just arm, whole body. Hip, leg, driver punch. Make here. Here! Here! Give you power.
This is the same with kicks. This is not just extending the leg. You need to engage the whole body, utilizing the hips and the arms to drive more power. Number 2. Movement.
Cobra Strike is composed of 2 parts. The lunge, which requires the use of the whole body. And the bite, which is everything that happens after you make contact.
There can be an argument whereby this is the same as using the whole body. However, there are 2 types of movement I like to focus on. The first one being around stepping or footwork. Stepping is not only important in terms of dodging, moving around the opponent, getting into better positions, it is also important in generating power. Simply doing a falling step to ensure that your body weight is behind it can generate a lot of power. Now, what I mean by a falling step is a step that's similar to a walk or run, whereby each step is like a controlled fall with your body weight falling behind it, as opposed to a step whereby you're like tapping your feet with your center of gravity remaining fixed. The principle is similar to that of a rugby tackle or doing a long jump, whereby you're building up momentum to jump further or hit harder. Stepping is not the only thing you need to think about when it comes to movement. Can you guess what that other thing is? The answer is head movement. When people think of head movement, they often think dodging, like in boxing. Head movement is more than just the ability to duck and weave and tilt your head and dodge punches and kicks. It also affects the range, as in the angles and the power of your strikes. For example, if you was to look to your left and then try to throw a left punch, how does that feel? You'll find that your range and power is severely limited, whereas a right hook will be fine. How you tilt your head, whether you tilt your head forward or tilt slightly back, also affects your striking. You'll find most fighters have their head tilt slightly forward as opposed to back, because it sort of protects their chin, but it also encourages for you to move forward, and it helps engage the use of your back and shoulders when striking. Similar to that of a bench press, doing a bench press from incline or decline affects what muscles you engage when bench pressing. There is a saying, where the head goes, the body follows. So don't neglect moving your feet and your head when training. This brings me to my next point. Number 3, range. When training, you need to get a feel for your range.
Right? You don't stop here where knuckle hits the bone. You punch through the bone, like the guy you really want to hit is standing behind the all right?
You want to be able to punch or kick through the opponent, or at the very least into the opponent. Try to get a feel for the range for your different strikes, where your punches and kicks are almost to full extension. This will be affected by the stance you take, whether it's more upright or lower stance, or a front or side stance. You don't want to throw a punch or kick whereby you're almost falling over, or you are off balance and struggling to return to your frame. This is where stepping can help to increase your attacking range. As you build up speed, there's often a habit of shortening your strikes. Now, there are perfectly good reasons why you want to shorten your strike, which I won't go into now. However, you just need to be conscious that you are intentionally shortening your punches or kicks, and that you're still engaging the whole body. Unconsciously, what can happen is you unintentionally throwing a series of light punches and kicks, like a drummer on a drum kit, or a person giving a strong massage. Range, by the way, is not just based on the length of your limbs and ability to step. It's not just one axis. There's different heights and angles. For angles, it depends on how you turn and pivot, how your body is facing, how you turn your head. For height, for now, just visualize facing an opponent that's about your height, or maybe slightly taller. Number 4, breathing.
Don't forget to breathe. Very important.
A common problem, especially when you incorporate speed, is not breathing properly. You don't want to be holding your breath for long periods of time, nor do you want to be taking short, rapid breaths like you're hyperventilating. Generally, you want to breathe out as you punch or kick, much like when you're in the gym pushing and pulling weights.
Breathe in through nose. Breathe out the mouth.
This is why a lot of boxers make the hissing sound as they punch. This is also the reason why lots of karate people ki. As you ki, you are breathing out.
Make ki. Here! Here! Give you power.
Proper breathing not only helps to deliver faster or sharper punches and kicks, it helps conserve or control energy, and if struck in the body while breathing out, helps reduce the possibility of being winded. So a good tip is to start off slow. And lastly, but not least, number 5, balance.
Balance is key. Balance good, karate good, everything good. Balance bad, better pack up, go home. Understand?
Balance hangs a lot of this together. With poor balance, you'd struggle to dodge, to block a punch or kick, to throw a punch or kick. For example, if you was to balance on a beam or have your feet close together and then try to throw a punch or kick, you'll find that you'll be struggling to stay on the beam as well as to deliver an effective punch or kick. This is because balance is crucial for movement and for using the whole body for any strike or throw. Another example is when you're heavily intoxicated. Your balance and coordination is severely affected. You need to have a good base, which you need to return to following each strike. You want to avoid overextending beyond your range. Otherwise, you will find yourself struggling to recover your position, and you would be vulnerable to an attack. And there you have it. 5 technical concepts covered in Cobra Kai and the Karate Kid movies. But wait, there's more. How can you use this information to improve your martial arts? And more importantly, the ability to fight back and defend yourself. There are 2 levels in which you can apply this. One is from a technique level and the other is from an individual level. From a technique level, you are either reviewing a move or technique, or you are reviewing a person's execution of a technique. In either case, if something is not working or can be improved upon, it usually lies in a flaw or weakness in one or more of the technical concepts. So say you've come across a new move that have been shown to you or something that you have seen online, then you may wish to assess it first. When reviewing a technique, you need to consider it from 2 perspectives. One is the execution of the technique. The other is the impact of it on the opponent. So for example, you are working on the side kick and you're struggling to remain balanced on impact and you're losing power because you're falling backwards as you land the kick. So here I've already identified 2 issues: poor base and poor body alignment. So the solution here is to pivot the foot, bend slightly the base leg and lean the top half of the body further back as opposed to being too upright. Or for example, you're working on the front kick and you're struggling to deliver any power in your kicks above the waist. Then perhaps the issue is the lack of flexibility in your legs. In terms of applying it at an individual level, this can be focused on oneself or on the opponent. For example, if you want to increase the potential power of your punches and kicks, then you should consider strength training and potentially increasing your body mass. Or you could work on your breathing, for example by doing some cardio. In terms of targeting the opponent, your aim is to make their techniques less efficient, and you could do this in multiple ways. For example, you could target their legs.
Rule number 1. A man can't stand. He can't fight.
Their breathing.
A man can't breathe. He can't fight. A man can't see. He can't fight.
Okay, so let's revisit Johnny's fight and see if we can pick up some of the concepts we've covered.
Get the hell out of here. You loser.
Phew. And that's it. We covered a lot there, and I could have easily broken down that scene further. If you want me to do a more detailed breakdown or do a review of it or other fight scenes, then leave a comment below. Let me know if you like the video and whether you'd like to see more videos like it. Share your thoughts and suggestions in the comments below, and I'll look forward to seeing you in the next video. Peace.